Hello friends and welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am your host Tom Downey, doing something a little bit different today. There's no need for highlights because the Cowboys lost, so instead, because I think we all need this right now, we're going to do some Cowboys therapy sessions. So with that in mind, give me one word in the comments. We'll get to your comments throughout the show tonight. Give me one word to describe the Cowboys loss, and I'll give plenty of shout-outs here as well. Depressing is one that comes to mind. Frustrating. It was embarrassing, although they did kind of rally down the stretch there. I see terrible. That's a good one there. I see dang, pitiful, disappointing. That's a good one too. Almost. That's a good word. Pathetic, sad. I see some other words I'm sure we'll get to later on. Unfortunate, terrible, trash, sucked, robbed, coaching, unacceptable. I like that one too. In case you missed it, Cowboys lost 34-24 to the Green Bay Packers. Packers now 4-1. Cowboys now 3-2. This game I thought was over before the fourth quarter. It was 31-3. The Cowboys tried to make a comeback effort. Dak Prescott ends up throwing for 463 yards. The problem is the Cowboys shot themselves in the foot so much throughout the game, they didn't make the comeback. Dak Prescott, the 3 interceptions, one off the hands of Cooper. That's partially on Cooper. The second one, terrible throw. Don't know what he was doing. Didn't see the cornerback dropping back in zone. The third one probably should have been pass interference on Kevin King, but still, miscommunication leads to the interception. And then Brett Maher, who we'll get to, I promise, misses a 33-yarder that could have given the Cowboys at least a chance under 2 minutes to go. So let's get to your comments now here. First up, a super chat from Marshall Nash. Thank you very much, Marshall. Plain and simple, we got overhyped and started drinking the Kool-Aid early. Speaking of drinking here, thank you, producer Alicia. I need a beer because I can't do this sober right now because that was very frustrating to me. But yes, I think the Cowboys kind of bought into their own hype a little bit. We saw it against the Dolphins in the first half. They came out flat against the Saints and never recovered. And I don't know what the hell was going on in the first half against the Packers. Defense couldn't stop me on the ground, and the offense moved the ball well inside the 30s or so, but some big mistakes there. Last True Patriot 69 says bad refs, which, I mean, they were not good. I cannot believe they whistled Jason Garrett for being correct for the penalty. Didn't matter on the drive, of course. There were definitely some bad refs. I didn't like them, but there's a lot going on there. I can't put it all on the officials in terms of assigning blame this one, but yes, they certainly did not help. Stevie Mac 23, a ladybug can land on Maher and it would mess him up. Look, you gotta, of course, give some blame to Xavier Su'a-Filo. I think it was Su'a-Filo who had the full start. But here's the thing. If you're an NFL kicker, you cannot miss a 33-yarder that gives your team a chance. It's 33 yards. He cannot screw up like that. And that, in the end, is on Brett Maher. I say cut him right now. All right, Leon here. Dak wasn't the problem. 2 of 3 interceptions were not his fault. 1 drop pass, other a missed penalty. I agree. I am still on the side of this was not the fault of Dak Prescott. Now, Dak didn't do enough to help in the end, but if you're assigning tiers of blame, there are a lot of people and coaches you get to, I think, before you blame Dak Prescott. Noah Thompson, what is Garrett doing? Waste a timeout with 3:30 to go. Now, the 3:30 to go timeout, hopefully I'm remembering here, that was after the sack, right? In which case you actually do want to call that timeout from running down the full 40 seconds. Ices his own kicker. He didn't ice his own kicker. There was a full start. Great job, Garrett. Used 2 timeouts if he had scored the field goal. Now, I don't think you're remembering the context correctly there. The Cowboys had 1 timeout left when they called that, when they had a chance to kick the field goal. Now, you can argue that they should have kicked the field goal earlier. That's fine. And Garrett, of course, did not do a good job. I'm not going to argue in favor of Garrett here, but I don't think the icing his own kicker timeout to get the ball back was really a big thing there. All right, Pasquale, who do you place the most blame on? Great question. Everyone in the comments, feel free to chime in. Look, when the offense sucks early and the defense sucks early and the special team sucks throughout, when all 3 phases aren't very good, you got to put the blame on the head coach. If it's not just one player making a mistake, if it's not just one side of the ball coming out flat, the blame has to go on the head coach. I could tell Garrett was pissed during the game. He actually had a penalty on him. That never ever happens. But in the end, I think Jason Garrett has to have the most blame here. I think that, and if you want to just say the coaching staff in general, like I think the super chat there we just got said, like, I get that. Like, the coaching staff as a unit, that works too. I'm going to go to the top man there. I'm going to go to Jason Garrett and say, look, you clearly didn't do a good job here. JD says, put this loss on the shoulder of the coaches. They have to game plan better. I actually liked the offensive game plan early. I thought they called good plays. Like they ran play action pretty well. They just had bad execution. Like if Dak leads Cooper a little bit or Cooper doesn't have the ball bounce off his hands into the waiting arms of Jair Alexander, that's either a touchdown or a big game. I thought the game plan on offense overall was pretty good. Early execution was the main flaw there. I'll put that on a variety of players. Defensively, though, yes. It was a disaster. I mean, you got, like, the total yards look okay just because, well, they didn't have the ball much in the second half because the Cowboys are throwing it and trying to take up so much clock and trying to just get it down the field there. They had a lot more time of possession. But the game plan as a whole overall, past 2 games even, I don't think has been very good. So here's my question for you guys. Are the Cowboys good or bad? We have 5 games worth of sample size for them. We've got them 2 losses against 2, I think, playoff teams, the Green Bay Packers and the New Orleans Saints. Frankly, 2 teams that are probably going to be competing for a bye in the NFC. And the end result says 2 close losses, but they didn't feel like close losses, right? And the wins, of course, are over really bad teams. The Giants with Eli Manning, who sucks. The Redskins are a train wreck. And the Dolphins are maybe the worst team in the NFL. So are they good or bad? I think they're good. I don't know if they're, win the rest of the games good. I don't know if they're Super Bowl good, but I do think they're playoff contending good. Last True Patriots 69 with a very great question here. 2 of them, really. Why can't our offense start hot? They almost did, so the interception. And why can't the defense and offense be elite at the same time? My friend, if I knew the answer to that question, I would be a coach somewhere. That is a long-standing question. I don't have the answer for you. I'm sure there are a lot of different things there that all go into it, but I don't have the single magic answer beyond maybe it's a coaching problem at that point. Destroyer Dog, do you think the Cowboys will win the next game and have a challenge till the end, where they're going to be challenged the rest of the season? The good news is for the Dallas Cowboys here is that the schedule does kind of set up pretty well for them here in terms of the next couple of games and the way things all space out. They go on the road week 6 against the New York Giants. They are terrible, even with Sam Darnold, so that in theory should be a bounce back game. I will tell you guys what. If the Cowboys lose to the Giants, and I'm not saying I want to keep Garrett anyway, I'm going to be at the front of the line demanding the firing of Jason Garrett. Eagles week 7. Because of the last 2 games, in reality, that is a must-win matchup. You cannot fall to, at that point, you cannot be 4-3 with how tough the end of season schedule is. You have to be 5-2. If you are 5-2 entering the bye, we're all going to feel okay in the end. Week 9 against the Giants, so hopefully at that point you're looking at 6 wins. And then Sunday Night Football home against Minnesota. Can you get to that 7-win mark by week 10? I think that might be the case if you want to win the NFC East, given how tough the NFC East schedule is. All right, Anarchy 915. Let's say Maher scores and we miss the onside kick. How do we get the ball back? Wouldn't Rodgers just kneel? Exactly, you don't. That's why you need both of those things, which is why there is an argument there to kicking the onside kick or kicking the field goal earlier. Kick it before the 2-minute warning. That way you have 2 clock stoppages, and you can still, if you miss the onside kick, we know how tough that is today in the NFL. That way you can get the ball back if you can't do it. So at that point, yes, it was going to be onside kick or game is over. All right, guys, make sure you are subscribed here to the Cowboys Report. I'm told there was a fear of a holdout. I don't know what the fake news media is telling you, but I was not holding out on Thursday. I know Harrison subbed in for me. I was not holding out. All right, my mother-in-law, was in town, so I spent the day with her and my wife. So I was not holding out yet. Get us to 50K. The threat of the holdout is still real. Think of this as like the OTAs. PFT says, oh, Zeke's going to hold out in OTAs. I'm here. Zeke was here. Stay tuned for the real holdout in December if you don't get 50K. Now, today's show is brought to you by BetDSI. Head over to chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code Cowboys120 for a 120% deposit bonus. That means as you put down $50, they're going to give you an extra $60 for free. So if you bet on the Cowboys to win, like me and my Packers fan friend actually did, I do have a Packers fan friend. I've ignored his texts all day. Hey, worked out pretty well. Cancel that extra money there. All right, Alejandro Gomez, what happened to LVE? He missed too many tackles. Stay tuned for some grades because he's on there. Aaron Jones made him look silly to me. All right, JD, thanks again for the super chat, my man. Cowboys can't stop the run and have too many penalties. On paper, the Cowboys are good. On the field, the Cowboys play bad. However, the coaches are bad. If the Cowboys miss the playoffs, I think, barring injuries, that's the reasonable conclusion. Because on paper, they are good. The two losses, though, have been to good teams, so maybe we should be a little bit more relaxed, breathable. But, yeah, I agree. The coaching staff did not do their job, especially on defense and at the head top there, Jason Garrett. Clinton Purcell, same problems as last season. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's almost like the head coach is the same. And, yes, Kellen Moore comes in, and there's some wrinkles to the offense. But in the end, you know, it's not really this. You know, it is the same problems that the Cowboys have had. The turnovers, the shooting themselves in the foot, all those types of mistakes. All right, Beyond Missouri says, trade for Gardner Minshew. Do you really want to, though? I don't know if that's the solution. Like, make no mistake, Minshew Mania is fun, but let me put it to you this way. If you called the Jaguars and said, hey, we'll trade you Dak Prescott straight up for Gardner Minshew, they're going to jump at that deal. Dak Prescott's still better than Gardner Minshew is. So what else are you getting from Jacksonville? So if I'm a bunch of first-round picks, we can have that discussion there, but Minshew's not better than Dak Prescott right now. Junior Valdez, if we have two good running backs, why can't RD stop the run? They practice with them. What the hell? Well, who says they stop them in practice? Look, I think the reality is, and maybe we've underestimated this, the team misses Antoine Woods. And this has been their MO for years, and it's a Rod Marinelli thing. They don't believe in run-stopping defensive tackles. And it shows. They get blown out of the way. They get blown off the ball. And if the linebackers miss tackle, there you go. That's the problem. That's the problem right there. So you miss a run-stopping defensive tackle. You miss a Damon Harrison in his prime, a Vita Vea right now for the Bucs, a Deron Payne. You miss having that elite run stopper, and it shows in the stat sheet. Trevor Gibson, please answer me, why do we keep Garrett when he cost us so many games? All of us players we lose most by coaching. That is a question for Jerry Jones. And if you want Garrett fired, miss the playoffs. Cheer against the Cowboys for the good of their long-term success. That'll get Garrett fired. Speaking of firing, who do you guys want fired? Let me know in the comment section. I'll take a drink here because I got some thoughts. A lot of different guys you can fire. Jason Garrett, number one. That's what Onel says. He's like, Jason has to go. I get it. I don't think you have to fire Dak Prescott right now. You can debate what he's worth. That's an understandable discussion. See a lot of fire Garrett's, not surprised there. See a lot of fire Brett Maher's too. All of these are great answers. Garrett did not do his job. Brett Maher did not do his job. Frankly, I'm surprised Dak Prescott is upright because the offensive tackles, mostly once Leo Collins left the game, no update on his injury, by the way, did not look great. Garrett, Richard, Marinelli, Garrett, or also Gurrett. Garrett for sure. Garrett seems to be the popular answer. Thomas says all the staff. I asked Lincoln, or I tweeted at him, are you up? He has not responded to me yet, but I think the point still stands there. You got to look. If things continue to go this way, and you want to go get Lincoln Riley in particular, make that move sooner. Begin a long courtship of the Oklahoma head coach. All right, Leon, do you think our offensive line can hold up the rest of the year considering the injuries? Let me see how bad Leel's is. like, I don't have any new update, I don't think. Let me double check the text here. I don't see anything new on Lael. So unless we get new updates there, I think you have to assume that as long as Colin's there, I think they'll be okay. Tyron should get back soon, but it certainly is a concern here right now. Today's show brought to you guys by the Action Network. Go download today for 40% off at chatsports.com/deal. Follow where the money's going. Let's say, for example, you've got the public's betting this way, but the sharps and the pro bettors, they're all betting this way. Go bet where the smart guys are betting, not where the silly public is going. You can track those numbers on the Action Network, chatsports.com/deal. John Valet with a question I thought of many times tonight. Please answer, how does the team that holds the Saints to 12 points allow 34 points? I don't know. I don't have the answer for you guys. Everything went wrong on defense earlier. There's no other way around it. I think that the bend but don't break, which I hate, by the way. I'd much rather be aggressive and try and take the ball away. But bend but don't break broke early. It was frustrating, right? Of course, I guess that there are maybe two ways to even look at this game. The first half versus the second half. It was a very different story. Well, I guess in the end, the point totals here were about the same, but the first half felt very different than the second half. But in the end, I don't think the execution and the game plan were probably all wrong. I don't know who played well on defense. Lawrence Armstrong? Jalen Smith's fourth quarter? Other than that, I don't have any answers. All right, Young Dad, what's the biggest problem on D? Coaching, D-line, linebackers, or defensive backs? Oof. Good one. All right, I'm going to go in order. For this game only, I'm going to go with the defensive line because they got blown off the ball. Then I'm going to go with the coaching because I thought the scheme of let's play off coverage against Marquez Valdez-Scantling and Geronimo Allison and these other bums that aren't very good actually relative to normal NFL players, I thought that was a big mistake there. Then I'm going to go linebackers because Aaron Jones torched you and he missed so many tackles, LV and Jalen Smith. And then we'll go with the defensive backs. But that order very much up